On time for International Women's Day, I felt really inspired to do a special video for all you ladies. If you have been following me for a while, you know I focus on helping you reduce your stress levels, sustain your performance, and create a life that you love. One of the things that have super helped me in my personal development and building a powerful mindset is to work on my limiting beliefs. So in today's video, I want to share with you a free workbook that you can download that includes a couple of different journaling prompts, positive affirmations, and powerful quotes from female leaders in order to inspire you to work through your limiting beliefs and create the life and the success that you have always wanted. So let's get started. Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Julia Arndt, and I'm a peak performance coach and stress management trainer. And I am super duper excited that you are watching this video today because I really want to help you break through your unhelpful limiting beliefs that we unfortunately all have. Before we really get started with this video, I would like to ask you to head over to my website and make sure to download this little workbook that I have specifically created for you in order to follow along in this video. It's super important because I really believe that if you are working in the workbook and if you are actually writing down a couple of thoughts that you have around the questions and the journaling prompts that I have created for you, then you will really be able to work through a couple of limiting beliefs and create a more positive life. So I'll wait here for you and I'll see you back in a second. Okay, great. Now that you have your workbook, I would like to talk with you a little bit about limiting beliefs. Where do they come from? What are limiting beliefs? Why do we have them? And I guess the answer is not super simple, but in a way it is super simple because if you are a human being, if you're a woman just like me, then you have been living your life, and through the process of living our life and experiencing life, we are building limiting beliefs because we are influenced by our families when we are growing up, we're influenced by our friends, we're influenced by society, we're obviously also influenced by the environment around us, and we are experiencing certain things, and sometimes we are not really aware of what we are taking on and what we're taking very personally. And from sometimes taking things a little bit too personally, we create limiting beliefs because someone else had an opinion about us, or someone has just an opinion in general about life. And because we don't know any better, and because we maybe never really questioned these beliefs, we just take them on. And so it is really interesting to shine the light on your limiting beliefs in order to create awareness around why are they actually there, what are they doing there, right? And how can I shift those limiting beliefs into something more positive? One of the things that I think about, one of the limiting beliefs I had for a really long time was that I'm not a good public speaker. And the reason why I was thinking that was because one of my directors back in the days at Google told me that I'm not a good public speaker. So when I actually started my own company, when I started to sit in front of the camera, I had a lot of trouble talking in front of the camera freely because this thought was always in my head. I am not a good public speaker. A limiting belief at the end of the day, because someone else gave me feedback that I took very personally. But through this work and sitting in front of the camera for many hours and training over 5,000 people in the last 2 years, I realized that I'm actually a really good public speaker, and this person just had an opinion about me and I really didn't need to take on his opinion. So you can see how it can be very powerful to work through your limiting beliefs and to create more action around it. So I have created a couple of different journaling prompts that I want to jump in with you today in order to help you identify these limiting beliefs, identify what is holding you back in order to really create a life full of potential. So let's jump into the first journaling prompts. What do you believe about women? What do you believe about men? What do you believe about yourself? What would change in your life if you would be a man? Where do your beliefs and convictions come from? Are your beliefs about women rather positive or negative? And finally, through which thoughts, feelings, or decisions have you validated your convictions over and over again? So I really want you to pause this video right now and go into these different journaling prompts. 7 different journaling prompts. There's a couple of different examples for each of them. And I really want you to sit with that for a couple of minutes and really think about, where do these limiting beliefs come from? What do I actually believe about women and men? And are they rather positive or rather negative? It's really, really interesting to do this exercise, so I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you back here in a moment. The last journaling prompt that I shared with you, I think is super, super powerful. So let me explain a little bit more why it is really interesting to shine the light on this specific question. Through which thoughts, feelings, or decisions have you validated your convictions over and over again? And when we talk about that, I have to tell you about the reality loop, because the reality loop is super, super important to understand in order to understand what is actually really happening, right? But first of all, we have certain thoughts and feelings. We all have, right? We are thinking certain things, and then these thoughts actually create feelings in ourselves. Like, for example, when the director said to me that I'm not a good public speaker, it created a lot of insecurity. And so with that insecurity, then I felt that insecurity, and it created more insecure thoughts. Am I really good enough? Should I really sit in front of the camera? What am I even doing? Thinking that I can speak in front of 350 people if someone told me that I'm not a good public speaker. And so because of that insecurity, because of those thoughts and feelings that are interacting with each other, we are creating certain behaviors and actions. So because I was so insecure, I would sit in front of the camera sometimes for hours and not really get it straight, because I felt so insecure about speaking in front of the camera. And of course, that then created my reality loop, because of course, what did I tell myself? I am not a good public speaker, right? Because I struggled so much with just speaking in front of the camera. So I really had to break through this limiting belief. And the good news is that you can break through limiting beliefs in different ways. You can actually tackle those thoughts and feelings, or you can create new experiences through taking a different action or by behaving differently. So that's the good news about the reality loop. But it's really important that we are starting to create that awareness. I hope you get me with that we are really creating our own reality with the thoughts and feelings that we have. Because once you understand that, you can understand as well that you can, on the other hand, also create a new reality for yourself that is so much more powerful and so much more fun and so much more inspiring and powerful than what you might believe about yourself right now. And with that, I want to move into the second part of the exercises, because now that you have hopefully identified some of your limiting beliefs and you understood where they actually come from, who said things to you, right? It could also be your dad or your mom or your sister or a teacher. No matter where it came from, it's totally okay. And you need to make your peace with that, which I know is sometimes not so easy. So if you want to learn more about how to let go, because sometimes that's not so easy, I highly recommend to you to practice forgiveness. And we have a lot of misconceptions about forgiveness. So I'm going to link a video up here about the 3 biggest misconceptions about forgiveness in order to help you really let go of what might have happened in the past and move into a more powerful life. So now that you have created all that awareness, I want you to think about more positive affirmations. We can start to move into building more positive affirmations, because here's the next thing. Your mind is so powerful, and you decide how you want to create your life. You decide if you want to be happy, you decide if you want to be sad. Of course, there's external circumstances that are influencing us, but that only makes 10% of what's really happening, because 90% is on you. There's a stimulus, of course, but how are you going to respond to it? What are you going to tell yourself? Are you going to stay stuck in that old reality loop, telling yourself over and over and over again that you can't do certain things? Or will you say, hey, stop. It's very interesting because I've done this exercise and I actually know why I'm thinking these things, but I want to think something differently. And in order to do that, it's actually pretty simple. And sometimes I feel like it sounds too simple, but not enough people are doing it, which is why we are not changing our reality loop, is to find a positive affirmation and to really start to tell yourself that positive affirmation every time those limiting beliefs are coming up. So in your workbook, you can find a page with positive affirmations, and I want you to pick one that you're really, really resonating with. If there's not one of them in there that is really resonating with you, that's totally okay. Then you can pick anything else that comes to your mind, or you can even search on Google positive affirmations in order to find something that really, really inspires you. And then I want you to write this positive affirmation on a piece of paper or post-it and stick it to a mirror or somewhere where you can see it all the time, as a little daily reminder that you need to in fact change your positive affirmation. So you see, for me, for example, I chose the positive affirmation: every challenge I face is an opportunity for me to grow. And I love this so much because it really shifts my perspective of, oh my God, there's a challenge again. Can I do it? Can I not do it too? I totally got this, and when I accept this challenge, I can actually grow and learn and become even more powerful. So take a few minutes to think about your positive affirmation, write it on a piece of paper. You can also put it next to your bedside table, you can put it on your fridge, you can put it on your bathroom mirror, or you can even put it somewhere in your car if you're driving a lot. Wherever you can see it on a regular basis, let's make sure that you're putting it there. Okay, now that you have that, I want to talk with you a little bit more about creating this positivity in your life as well. Again, it's really simple, but we're not taking enough time in the day to actually think about something positive. We really like to stay stuck in these negative reality loops, and that's not really helpful. So the 2 journaling prompts that I have prepared for you are the following. Number 1, who can you be as a woman when you let go of your limiting beliefs? And which new convictions would you like to carry over into your day-to-day life? And we already talked about the little post-it and that little affirmation, which is really powerful. But I also want to talk with you for a second about meditation. I was, for the longest time, not a huge fan about meditation. I felt like I couldn't sit still. I had a lot of thoughts on my mind, lots of negative thoughts. I felt like I was really uncomfortable sitting. So I really didn't love meditation, and I always told people, don't worry about meditation. There are so many other stress management tools that you can do. And I still believe that, but I really found the beauty and the power of meditation, especially over the last couple of months, going through a little bit of a more personal, tougher time myself. And what I did with my positive affirmation is I really started to repeat that positive affirmation on a daily basis and make it a practice. So it doesn't have to be sitting in meditation. If you want to, of course you can, but it can be anything. It can be when you're standing in front of your mirror brushing your teeth, or when you're laying in bed at night or in the morning. And I just want you to take 2 to 3 minutes on a regular basis in order to repeat that positive affirmation. Because here's the thing, we are trying to break through a limiting belief that might have been there for years. So you have to rewire your brain, and that's going to take a little bit of practice. And so you're helping your brain by repeating that positive affirmation and by imagining how you feel, how that feels when you are thinking that and when you are creating this more powerful life, right? How would it feel like to speak for myself personally in front of 300 or 400 people? It's really exciting for me to do that. It's really exciting to share my knowledge with other people. And so thinking about this, and also maybe even thinking about this little tingly feeling of adrenaline that's pumping through my veins when I'm standing in front of such a big crowd, makes me really excited. So I want you to really think about, okay, what is something that I really want to bring into my life? How can I create that? By that positive affirmation, and also by really bringing that into my life, by repeating that positive affirmation and by taking action. Because once you do that, then you create a new reality loop. And that's, at the end of the day, really the goal of this exercise. So you're creating a new reality loop. You're creating a more powerful, more successful reality loop. And so the last final step that I have for you today in this video is that I want you to think about what is the first step that you can take now with all of the information that I shared with you today, with all of the hard work that you just put in order to create more understanding. Because if you don't get into action, you will never see any changes in your life. You need to get out there. You need to get out of your comfort zone. You need to get out of those beliefs that have been holding you back. Because here's the next thing. We are getting very comfortable and we're getting really addicted to these states of being, even though they're not really helpful for us. So if you want to break through that, you need to take action and you need to create new experiences, as you can see, obviously, in the reality loop. So, my dear ladies, it was an absolute pleasure to record this video for you today. There's 2 more things that I want to mention to you. First of all, because of International Women's Day, I also recorded a really powerful podcast for you with dear Fatou from Senegal. And we are talking about the startup company that she has co-founded, which is super interesting. I'm just going to say all that and then I let you just explore it yourself. But I really hope that you're going to watch this and that you're going to listen to Fatou and her story, because it's absolutely powerful and beautiful. And second of all, if you feel like you need a little bit more support because it's really difficult for you to really start this process, if you feel like you need an accountability group and a little bit more commitment and a little bit more coaching, then I highly encourage you and invite you to come and join the Academy of Peak Performers. The Academy of Peak Performers is my weekly group coaching call that I'm hosting with a group of people from all different kinds of backgrounds, from all different kinds of countries, from Germany, from Switzerland, from USA, from Australia, and just join our group and start the process with us together. Because when you are supported, when you are really committed to that process, then you're actually going to see results and you're going to start to see changes in your life. So if you want to learn more about the Academy of Peak Performers, I'm going to link to the website as well in order to make sure that you can find out a little bit more about it. And obviously, if you have any questions, you can leave them down below or reach out to me directly. So, my dear ladies, I hope that you celebrate International Women's Day. I hope that you celebrate yourself. I am absolutely proud of you, of what you have achieved so far. And I know that you can do so much more. So thank you so much for watching this video today. And I really hope to see you in the next one.